Hello everybody, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. So I have been playing with Jesse James Bead's Magical Mystery Bead box. The one I'm working with is the Into the Woods September 2019 box. Now, usually every month that I get this box, I will make a piece and post a picture of it on Instagram. I don't show you guys here on YouTube or on Facebook or Pinterest what the finished piece looks like. You only get to see it on Instagram. So this time I decided that I would do a video on it instead of just posting a picture of the finished item. So usually I've been making necklaces. I made some really cool necklaces with the Jesse James Beads box. And this time I decided I should do bracelets, and so I thought maybe 2 bracelets, and I made this one first, which is my favorite one. I love it so much. It's really cute, and I told you guys about how I've really enjoyed playing with the Jesse James Beads boxes because they do things differently than I usually do. Normally, I don't like mixing metal colors. Not because I don't like them, how they look together, because I feel like I'm not good at mixing metal colors together. So, working with this Jesse James bead box, I've really felt challenged to play around with mixing metals more, and I've had a lot of fun, and I've had some really good results. So this bracelet here has silver in it, has copper, has antique brass, there's gold in it, like all the metal colors are in it. Only metal color I'm missing is, that I can think of, is gunmetal. So after I made this one here, I'll move these to the side. After I made this one, I loved it so much that I wanted to make another one, and so I made this one to wear with this, and I have these large beads here because this part here is so big, so that's why I designed it like that. And I'm like, well, I need more. These here are very, huge and bold. I need something that's smaller. So I had a lot of beads left over, and that's when I ended up making these here. There's a lot of check beads in this box. Man, there is a ton of beads in this box. If you didn't see me open this box on camera, you should go watch the video because there is a lot of stuff in the box. So anyways, I made this cute little bracelet here with the check beads, and I did add in these spacer beads, which are my own. These are antique brass 3mm rounds. And so I have that there, and this one here is the one I will be working on in the video. This is also very pretty, and this one's going to be here. Okay, so there's 4 bracelets there, and then I really liked these recycled glass beads that they had, and this cord was actually supposed to go with this pendant here, which they have in the box. There's a tutorial that you can go and watch on YouTube. They have their own YouTube channel that shows you how to paint this. It's a ceramic pendant. It's really cool. So I haven't done that yet, but I did go and watch the video. It was really good. And I do have, going to the other supplies that I have left over, I have chain here, and I was wondering if I should have used this chain in here somehow, but I don't know. I'm really loving all the beads, so I've decided not to use it. There's actually 2 strands of 18-inch chains in here, and there's also tassels, which I was thinking I should put some of these tassels into my bracelets, but I don't know. I have 5 bracelets going on, so maybe I shouldn't. So I'm going to ask you guys what you think about this. These are all my leftover beads up here. There are these gemstone beads here. I did want to use these. Now they all are different lengths, so I ended up not using them because of that. And I felt like these beads here are so big, and this one's so big, that maybe I shouldn't use those. And I really wanted to do some charms in this. And this one here is my favorite. The detail of the veins on this leaf is incredible, and I really wanted to put this leaf right here beside the toggle, because when you make toggle bracelets, like the best place to put a charm would be right here at the toggle, but this leaf is bigger than the toggle, so I know it's going to be hard for me to put the bracelet on because of that. So I was thinking, well, maybe I should just put a big jump ring on it and put it like maybe right here. Oh my gosh, I just realized that I strung this bead on backwards. Darn it, I'm gonna have to restring it. Look at that. It's on the wrong direction. Well, I'll do it later. Gosh, what a bummer. Okay, so anyways, maybe I like this leaf with this bracelet the most because I feel like these beads here really tie in the colors and the teal. But maybe what I should do, because it's going to be hard for me to put the bracelet on if I put it near a closure, is I should put it onto this one. Put it in the middle right here with a jump ring. Or put it onto this one. I think it looks better with this one because of the teal though. So I don't know. That's another decision I have to make. So anyways, this bracelet here is going to be knotted. This is the recycled glass beads, and I came up with a design on how I will knot this, and I think I will do this one first, but first I need to clear up all the leftover beads. And by the way, there are a bunch of beads left over that I can make earrings with, so if you guys are watching this and you got the same box, maybe you want to make the same pieces I'm making, you can. And then with the leftover beads, you can either put them away in your stash or make earrings with them. I was thinking about using these leaves here in the pieces, but I would only use one of them. I wouldn't use both, and I would actually hate to break them up. They're a pair. I would love to make earrings with those. And there were these awesome owls that came with it too, and I think they might be too big for the bracelet, so I don't know. I have a lot of design options. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up, and we're gonna work on this bracelet together, and then we're going to crimp the other bracelet. I'll show you how to do that. So the cord I'm working with is already pre-cut, came in a kit this length. I did not cut it, but I did, well, I did cut the ends here into a point so that I can pass the cord through the beads, because, you know, the end was flat. So I took my cutters and I went like this and I cut them into points, and then that made them easy to string the beads on. So I went ahead and I strung my pattern on. Now one of the beads has a very big hole. Well, actually they all have big holes, but this one just had a massive hole that was so big that two of my cords can pass through. So this bead here is going to be on both of these cords, and then these two here are going to be the little ends down here, and I'll have knots down here, and this will be an adjustable bracelet. So anyways, I went ahead, I put all my beads on. I have this bead here being my middle bead. I'm making sure that my ends are even and that my bead is centered in my cord right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and tie a overhand knot. This is very simple, easy to do. Just go like this. Make sure it's not twisted. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to tie an overhand knot on this side. Bring the knot down. Okay, give that a nice pull. And then slide my next bead down, does not matter which side. Just like that, and I'm going to tie it again. So pretty simple, right? I just do this, tying a knot in between all of the beads. And I'm probably going to fast forward this because it would be silly for me to show me doing this entire thing. Okay, so I went and knotted it, and this looks really good. I'm really liking it. I haven't done like a test run on this, so this is the first time I've knotted it, but so far it's looking just the way I imagined it. So now what I'm going to do, by the way, you want to make sure that you cut both ends so that they're pointed. You want to put these together and then put your bead on that has the giant hole. Now if you happen to not get a bead with a big hole, you might have like this dark blue one with a big hole, instead of the light blue one. If you have a bead in your stash, maybe a metal bead that has a really big hole, that would be great for this. That's what I would have done if I didn't have this bead with a huge hole. It would have made it look really pretty, adding some metal in here. So I'm just going to slide that bead up like that. I'm going to slide it up all the way. And then I'm going to string on my last two beads. And I might need pliers to do this. So now we need to find out how long to make this. These beads here are kind of a marker for that. So you want it to slide over your wrist, okay, but you don't want it to be massive. So let's see, I'm going to make mine tighter. So like right there. So I think that I will tie, is this even? I'm going to adjust this here. Okay, those are side by side. I'm going to hold this tight, try this on. Alright, I'm going to tie my knots right in front of the yellow beads. And I just don't tie it real tight, because you can always adjust it until you get it just right. And then you can tie it super tight when you feel like you need to. Okay, I'm going to slide that down. Try not to move the yellow bead because it's my marker. Go through the hole. Okay. Okay, I'm not pulling that tight, I'm just kind of resting it there. And then I'm going to do this side. You know what, I just shortened that cord doing that, so I might need to pull that knot down some, so I'm going to try and adjust it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it did. It shortened it. So I have to slide that knot down. So the knot actually needs to sit where the yellow bead's sitting. So I always like to use my pliers to pick knots. That's what I've always done. Just gonna slide the knot down. Let's see, comparing it to the other one there. Okay, let's try it now. Perfect. Okay, I just want my knots to be even, side by side. Pull those tight. My knots are actually a little sloppy. They could look much better. But for just video filming purposes, I'm trying to make this fast. So now I'm going to tie a knot down here. Go ahead and try it on. Yep, it fits. It's cute. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut these cords, and I do need to make sure this is super tight before I do. And I'm going to cut them like this. I'm not going to cut them super short. There we go. We have our adjustable bracelet. If you want to, you could have had this bead turn the other way and have the cords go through like this, but I actually think I like it this way more. But that's another option for you if you want to do it differently. I fixed my bracelet here, and I realized after I did it I probably should have filmed it, because I don't know if you guys have ever gone back and fixed a bead string project, but you really don't have to cut it apart and restring the whole thing. All you have to do, and I'm going to tell you what I did, is get chain nose pliers. I have a built-in chain nose plier here on my crimping tool, and I have crimp covers here, so I come in here and I squeeze the crimp cover like this. I go all the way around squeezing it, and it causes the crimp cover to open. And then my crimp was in there and it's folded in half because I used a crimping tool to close it. So I went like this and I squeezed the crimp and it caused it to open, and then it broke. And you have to be very careful when you do this that you don't mess up your bead string wire, because if you do mess up your bead string wire and you take the nylon coating off of it, you will have to restring the whole piece. So I ended up breaking my crimp without ruining my wire, and I turned my bead around, I restrung my beads, and every time I do bead stringing projects, I always make sure that I pass at least 2 inches of the tail back into the bracelet, because if you mess up, you can come back and fix it very easily, or maybe you're going to give the piece away to somebody and they need the piece to be smaller or bigger. You can take one end apart, you can adjust your beads, and close it without restringing the whole project. So after I broke my crimp, I restrung my beads, I put a new crimp on, and I passed my tail out in a different spot this time because my tail was 2 inches long. And then I crimped my tube, and I actually did such a good job opening the crimp cover that I was able to reuse the crimp cover. So the only thing I wasted was just a broken crimp tube, which really is nothing, and it was pretty easy to fix. Now I'm going to show you how to crimp this bracelet here, and I was actually just filming this and I almost crimped it, and then my dog went into a barking frenzy, so I had to take it apart and start over. So I'm putting on a number 1 crimp tube, and I'm putting on my clasp. I'm using a lobster claw. You can use any clasp you want. And by the way, I don't know what size my crimp cover is. I just know that it is super tiny. When I bought these, I thought that I had bought the wrong size. Well, first of all, I thought crimp covers came in the same size. They were all the same size, because every time I've ever gone to the craft store to get my covers, they've always been the same size. I've never seen them in different sizes. So anyways, I bought these and I thought that they were too small because they're just really super tiny. So I went back and I bought them in this bigger size. And I went to go use these and they just seem so huge. Like they're swimming. My crimp tube is swimming inside of them. They're just huge. So I went to the tiny ones, and these are perfect. So it was a happy accident. I bought a super tiny crimp cover by accident, and it is like the best crimp cover I've ever had. So I'm going to go ahead and crimp this. Like I said, you want to pass about 2 inches of wire through your crimp tube in case you ever need to come back and fix a boo-boo. So like this. I'm not going to worry about passing my beads to this right now because this is the first time I'm crimping this. I do need to make sure that I get my wires parallel to each other so that it crimps properly. So I have my wires side by side, sliding this down here. Okay, I'm going to come in here, and there's 3 ovals. There's small, medium, and large. And then I have this tooth right here, which is what folds the crimp in half for me. So I'm going to go to the second oval and squeeze that, which gives it an oval shape so that my wire sits much better side by side. Okay, because when it's round, it's kind of like your wrist. You know, nobody has a round wrist. Do you realize that? Everybody has an oval shaped wrist, but yet they make bangles in a circle shape. So anyways, I just made that into an oval shape, and now I'm going to go to my folding spot right here, And I'm going to fold my crimp. There we go. Looks perfect. And now I'm going to, well, I put an indentation in it, but now I'm going to fold it right there. I'm going to do it in the middle one. Did that close all the way? Yeah? Okay. So I'm folding it, and then I like to go to the smallest notch. Squeeze that really good. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to put my crimp cover on. It's such a tiny little cover. Just like this. And then I come to this side and I close the bead up. Then I have to come back to the sides again and squeeze it. And sometimes they're like lopsided, so I actually have to go in at an angle. I don't know why they're like this, in order to close it. Okay, looks good. Now I'm going to pass my tail through my beads here. Slide all this down, and I always use these gator clips when I'm bead stringing. I've had those forever. Okay, now I'm going to pick up my crimp tube and my ring here. I'm going to pass back through the crimp tube, and I'm going to go through, like I said, about 2 inches of beads. And I have a little trick. One of the most important things about bead stringing is getting your tension right. You do not want this to be super tight, which is a problem, a mistake that I always made. I always made it too tight, and the piece did not want to move freely. It was so stiff that it was hard to put it on. So here's my tail. I'm just gonna slide this down. Okay, what I like to do, oh no, did my crimp tube disappear into the bead? It sure did. This happened to me last night. I totally forgot about this. See that right there? My crimp tube is so tiny. It went inside the bead. So I need to get it to come back out. Okay, it'll wiggle itself back out. Or I can use a bead awl to get it out. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this off. Get my awl. Go like this. There's my tube. Okay. Slide this bead on. Then I'm going to put this on here. Then I'm going to put my tube back on. Chances are you're probably not going to have this problem. But if you do, this is how you can get around it. Now I'm going to go back through the tube. I need to pass down through those beads, but I don't want to get my tube stuck in that bead, so I'm going to go like this. Leave that there. The gator clip is preventing the tube from sliding into my bead, and I'm just going to pass through 2 inches of beads. Alright. So, getting it adjusted here. It's been a pain in the neck. The crimp tube disappearing in here. I'm going to close this shut because I realized in order to get the best tension, it's best to do this. I apologize for the screaming bird in the background. I know that's annoying. Okay, I'm now going to grab that tube. I'm going to put it in the middle, make it an oval shape, and then I'm going to grab it in the teeth right there. I need to pull this just a little bit tighter. Okay. I still think I need to adjust it more. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put in my indentation. Okay, now this is not going to go over there. And I do have a little too much slack there, but it was so hard to get it just right. I think we'll be okay. Okay, I'm bending it in half. Then I'm taking it to the smaller one, closing it tighter, and now I'm going to put my cover on. Closing it shut. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to cut this wire off. And we're all done. So now the beads are nice, they move around, the bracelet's not really stiff. When it is super stiff, it makes it really hard to put the bracelet on. So it's important that you have a lot of movement. Same with necklaces. I will say that necklaces are harder to get the tension right because it's such a long piece. So yeah, I plan to wear all of these together except for the recycled glass one. I think I like it like this. I think that I will wear this one on the other wrist, but all four of these I plan to wear together. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will have really good pictures of this so you can see the pattern if you want to follow the same pattern. Maybe you didn't get the box, but maybe you have in your bead stash very similar beads that you can use to make similar bracelets like this. I hope this video inspired you, because that's what I'm always aiming for, is to inspire you guys and make you think of different ways to design your jewelry. It's so much fun creating jewelry. It really is therapeutic. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. Make sure you click the bell button to get notified when I upload new videos. And check me out on all my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.